Good evening to our global audience and many thanks for joining us on the Friday edition of Primetime News. I'm Michael Madimba. We commence tonight's bulletin at the International Court of Justice in The Hague, the Netherlands. The International Court of Justice earlier today delivered its ruling on the emergency measures requested by South Africa in its genocide case against Israel over its current war on the Gaza Strip. Now, the court effectively ordered Israel to take measures to prevent all acts of genocide in the Gaza Strip and must report back in 1 month. Let's now listen to a portion of the court's ruling.
The State of Israel shall take immediate and effective measures to ensure the provision of urgently needed basic services and humanitarian assistance to address the adverse conditions of life faced by Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. The State of Israel shall take all measures within its power to prevent and punish the direct and public incitement to commit genocide in relation to members of the Palestinian group in the Gaza Strip.
Now, following the ruling, President Cyril Ramaphosa and the ruling council of South Africa's ruling party erupted in cheers, singing and dancing today after the top UN court ordered Israel to prevent possible genocide in Gaza. The African National Congress National Executive Committee suspended a meeting to watch a broadcast from the court in The Hague, and live footage from the event showed senior party and government figures celebrating.
We expect Israel, as a self-proclaimed democracy and a state that respects the rule of law, to abide by the measures handed down by the International Court of Justice. After more than half a century of occupation, dispossession, oppression, and apartheid, the Palestinian people's cries for justice have been heeded by an eminent organ of the United Nations. Today, Israel stands before the international community, its crimes against the Palestinians laid bare.
Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu slammed as outrageous South Africa's case against it at the UN's top court after judges ruled today that Israel must act to prevent genocide. Let's listen in.
Israel's commitment to international law is unwavering. Equally unwavering is our sacred commitment to continue to defend our country and defend our people. Like every country, Israel has an inherent right to defend itself. The vile attempt to deny Israel this fundamental right is blatant discrimination against the Jewish state, and it was justly rejected. The charge of genocide leveled against Israel is not only false, it's outrageous, and decent people everywhere should reject it.
We will continue tracking this international development story on the possible ramifications of this ruling. Back home, the Namibian Society of Composers and Authors of Music, also known as NASCOM, has been operating for 26 years without any operational policies. Let's get some context.
Nakano said that NASCOM collects royalties fees for its 8,064 member artists as per the Copyright and Neighboring Rights Protection Act 6 of 1994, aimed at protecting and promoting copyright and ensuring fair remuneration.
There was no policy in terms of the board deciding at the end of the year we are going to distribute policies for NBC, for commercial, or for any type. There is nothing for that nature. I understand your complaint because it has been created a tendency or a precedent that December is the time. But that's why I say we don't have a rule to say we are paying in December. We are following what we want to do right now, bringing a new policy so that we can follow that policy.
He further stated that most of NASCOM's employees have signed employment contracts and circumstances surrounding those with old contracts are not entirely clear, resulting in possibilities that some individuals may have altered their employment contracts and were receiving remunerations that were never approved by the board. Sylvia Shundali reporting for Primetime News.
In our continental update, we turn attention to neighboring South Africa, where Johannesburg man who admitted to setting fire to a crowded, illegally occupied housing block to cover up a death was charged Thursday with arson and the murders of close to 80 people. More from this report.
Well, it was a brief court appearance, obviously just to place the charges formally before court. Luckily, the accused is represented and his lawyer is currently taking instructions, and the matter has been postponed to the 1st of February 2024 for a formal bail hearing. We can confirm that a confession has been reduced in front of a magistrate, so it therefore meets the requirements of Section 217 of the Criminal Procedure Act. So we are currently the police is currently conducting investigations to get evidence that will corroborate what we currently have at our disposal.
But it's obviously on record already that he's made some admissions on this matter, so we need to consult in that regard with him. All we can say is that we are going to cooperate with the state. What is of paramount importance for now is the safety of our client. So whether he's going to plead guilty or not, it will depend obviously on my consultation with him and obviously based on further investigations on the matter. This matter is fairly new, it still needs to be investigated. So investigations of this nature take quite a long time. It could take over a year to investigate this particular case. Remember, there's a lot of people involved who are alleged to have passed on as a result of this incident. So it will take a little while.
Stay tuned for the business segment, but first, we bring you the talk roundup. Welcome to the Primetime Biz segment, your leading source for all things business. The Namibia Statistics Agency says it has so far completed major phases of the 2023 population and housing census since its commencement on 18 September last year. More on the gist.
Namibia's Statistician General Alex Chimaufeni said on Thursday that the NSA now commences with the reconciliation operation, which is the final phase of the Post-Enumeration Survey, PES. Late last year, the NSA conducted the PES after the census enumeration to measure the coverage and quality of the census results. It was conducted in selected constituencies and selected enumeration areas, EAS. Chimaufeni in a statement said the reconciliation operation will be conducted countrywide from the 1st to the 14th of February 2024. Where NSA officials will have to go back to the households that have persons who were found not to be matching, meaning they were found with details that are not completely matching between the census and PES information collected. Adding this will be done to determine the correct final match status for these individuals. He stated the households will be contacted either in person or telephonically. Chimaufeni noted this then serves to guarantee accurate and reliable data with respect to the content and coverage. Konjini Ambinga reporting for Primetime News.
On to the mining sector, where employees at Rosen Uranium are set to receive salary increments for the years 2024, 2025 and 2026, as outlined in a negotiation agreement signed by the Rosen Branch Executive Committee and the Mine Workers Union of Namibia. Let's get more details from this insert.
According to the agreement, grade 1 to 11 employees will see a 7% increase in February 2024, followed by a 6% raise in 2025 and another 6% increment in 2026. Daylight Ekanjo, in a press release, said L-band employees will also benefit from a 7% salary increase in 2024, with subsequent raises of 6% in 2025 and 6% in 2026. The agreement was officially signed on the 18th of January 2024. Expressing appreciation, Rossing Uranium's Employee Relations Advisor, Lana Maletsky, commended the Mine Workers Union branch executive team for their mature and constructive approach throughout the negotiations. She said this agreement secures increments for employees for the next 3 years, which indeed is a milestone, with both parties sharing a common understanding of the challenges facing the business. Adding that the parties also agreed to the renewing of procedural and related agreements within the next 3 months. Salima Shimwefeleni Masipa for Primetime News.
This is where the top segment concludes. Your business and economics roundup is up next. But for now, it's a quick look at Saturday's weather forecast. Welcome to Sport Planet, the segment for all things sport in action. We begin with AFCON action lined up for this weekend. Now, the clash of Southern African neighbors was totally unexpected, given Angola had not gone beyond the group stage since being 2010 hosts, and Namibia had been winless in their 3 earlier appearances. Angola overshadowed Algeria and Burkina Faso to top Group D, with Gelson Dalla scoring twice, while Namibia, who stunned Tunisia, were crushed by South Africa, then exceeded expectations to hold Mali. Let's now take a look at the other fixtures on the cards in the round of 16. A West African derby pits Nigeria against Cameroon, Egypt against Democratic Republic of Congo, title holders Senegal against Ivory Coast, and Morocco against South Africa. None of the other 4 matches feature a former winner, but 2015 semi-finalists Equatorial Guinea will attract attention after topping a group including more fancied Nigeria and Ivory Coast. On to the English Premier League. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp announced that he will stand down as Liverpool manager at the end of the season. The 56-year-old has informed the club's ownership of his decision to stand down, having taken charge at Liverpool in 2015. Klopp has won 6 trophies with the Reds, including the Premier League title in 2020 and the Champions League trophy the year before.
With all the responsibility you have in this job and these kind of things, you have to be absolutely top of your own game. That's how it is, and I am. But I'm doing this for 24 years now, and I said that before, when you have the career I have had or have, I want to see that, it's pretty much impossible to start where I start and arrive at Liverpool. But if it becomes possible, then it's just because you absolutely invested everything you had, and that's what I always did, and it was never a problem. And I realized that my resources are not endless, and I preferred to pack absolutely everything in this season, and then have a break or whatever, or have to stop and these kind of things, because it's you realize it yourself. You're in a similar age. It's we are no young rabbits anymore, and we don't jump as high as we did, and all these kind of things, and that's how it is, and that's why and it was not. I didn't think about it on purpose, and let's have a think of how will it be. It just happened, and then I started thinking about it, and that was the moment when I knew this club, especially with the team we have, with all the super things we have in this club needs, on top of that, a manager and his top game.
Stay tuned for your sports roundup. This is where the Primetime News sheepdogs for the week. It's been a pleasure being in your company. My colleague Selima Shimwefelin Masipa will hold the fort as from Monday next week. Feel free to comment your predictions on the Angola-Namibia AFCON match. Also follow the on-screen prompts to ensure you don't miss out on the latest happenings within and beyond Namibia. From myself, Michael Madimba, and my entire production crew behind the scenes, have a restful weekend. Good night.